This has been so much fun so far. So, Pete, it is definitely time for us to get into Is This Anything? The first one, and I think I've got it right here, Pete. I don't know. Do you want to put it up? Do you need me to put it up?
Sure, I'll put it up. Yep.
Okay, so it's going to end up in the right place. Here's the first one. This was an article from the Hollywood Reporter. It was October 3rd, so not that far ago. Is Disney bad at Star Wars? And they went into a whole deep dive analysis. My question to you, as Tim Barnes, the Star Wars fan, not the industry insider, not the person who works on TV shows and other things, is this anything? Is Disney bad at Star Wars?
I see. This is my favorite thing is watching how politicians answer questions. I think that's a fine art, and I think that what we're really looking at when we're trying to find a president is their ability to do that. Correct. I think people get angry when they don't directly answer a question, but I think the ability to do that is what you actually want, because you want someone who can talk to other world leaders in a skirting the actual topics in an actual way.
Right.
Sort of like what I'm doing right now. Is Disney bad?
Right. You'll know earlier we said we don't want to put you in a situation that could put you in a bad situation. Now we're asking you, is Disney bad?
No, I don't think that Disney is bad at how do they phrase it? I don't think Disney is bad
Disney bad at Star Wars?
I think we've gotten a lot of great things from Star Wars in the Disney era. A lot of things that, that are beneficial to me personally, like being able to have a character like Finn is amazing. Being able to, I think they're pretty good at it. I think they've come to the end. The learning curve has ended, and now I feel like they're in this point of like, let's activate. I feel like I'm talking like a Power Ranger. But,
if I hear what you're saying, and I think I agree with you 100%, is that has it all been 10 out of 10? No, absolutely not. Has there been some misses? For sure. Has there been some really great things? Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Without Disney buying Star Wars, you don't get Grogu, and if you don't get Grogu, Star Wars is still back burner and something that only nerdy geeky people talk about. But I say it all the time, you can't throw a cat without hitting a Baby Yoda t-shirt at a Walmart, and it's still, even though Grogu hasn't been on screen for 2 years, he's still like the thing. So so they aced that. They understood that. I love what you were saying before about taking some risks, and they took risks, and some of it really did work for everybody. I mean,
they really did take huge risks.
Look at Andor.
People forget that.
Andor is a brilliant series, but it's not your typical Star Wars at all.
There's not a lightsaber in it. There's no force in it. Like Rogue One even bailed out at the end with Maul and the lightsaber and the whole thing.
No, that was
the Vader
Solo.
Solo. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
even
like
Solo
Rogue One, but Rogue One, the Vader piece at the end. Like both of those still have that thing where you're like, ooh, a lightsaber. Ooh, there's a whatever. Andor is straight up like, and what I've asked for a million years. And Matt, this one's for you. It's my West Wing Star Wars. Like Andor is, give me the dialogue heavy, the machinations, how it happened, what went on of Star Wars. And it straight up works.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like they kind of, the phases, especially with the sequel trilogy, is like you can feel them actually listening to whatever was in the air from the quote unquote fans. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You had The Force Awakens, which I appreciate so much. I think The Force Awakens might ultimately be my favorite of the sequel trilogy. It really set the tone. It got us to a solid place with Star Wars again. I felt like you had this big mystery. Everyone cared about Snoke. And then they made the anti-fan service movie. Like that's a huge risk in a number of ways, but it felt like that was a response to this sort of massive angry feedback that was kind of out there about how fan servicey maybe The Force Awakens was. And then the only way you can combine those two polar opposite ends of the spectrum resulted in The Rise of Skywalker, whatever you think about The Rise of Skywalker, that was also them trying to be like a true, democratic approach. It felt.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the Rise of Skywalker was sort of like the presidential primaries of Star Wars. It was like, what's the most marketable thing we can do here? And still call it Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, how do we answer the Snoke question? How do we, all this stuff? Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we have a second. Is this anything? Actually, we have 3 total. Is this anything? So we got our second one coming up now. This second one is the tweet that came out from Simu Liu a day ago, the day before yesterday. It's the GIF, however you want to say it, of Finn lighting the lightsaber, and then John Boyega responds with one of my favorite emoji ever. It's that pseudo smile emoji. There's 4 of them. So my question to you, Tim Barnes from Yubnub, is this anything? Is this?
It feels like it's so much of everything.
Like, we've got a Rey movie on the horizon. Of course, we want a Rey movie with Boyega in it. We have the Lego special where Finn is being trained as a Jedi. Like, is this anything? That's the question. What do you see in this?
I feel like they're both in the movie. I mean, it must be. I don't know. I don't know how active John Boyega actually is on Twitter. I haven't. I need to look into this. I don't know how truly active he is, but it feels like something that might be a little calculated, right? It feels so casual that it's not.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to your question either, but I feel like if you ask me on a gut response, I don't think Boyega is super active. So the fact that he does, he's activated for this thing, like, maybe there's something to it. Pete, what about you?
Yeah. I was just sort of scrolling through, and I actually don't see it in a tweet here. So maybe he did it somewhere else. Maybe, let me see. Wait, no, that's definitely Twitter.
Yeah, it looks very. Yeah, from
maybe I didn't. Well, maybe he's super active, and I didn't even go all the way back to find it. No, I'm with Tim on this one. This is Ewan McGregor saying, "Nope, I'm not doing Star Wars." This is Liam Neeson just happens to have his lightsaber handle handy when he's on TV with who was it? Was it Fallon or was it somebody?
Yeah,
they just so happen to be like, "Oh, this old thing." No, this is Simu Liu is going to be in the Rey movie or something else they're doing together. The other thing too that I thought though is maybe Boyega is in something that Simu's doing in another franchise, and they're just kind of like joking about it. But it's way too uncalculatedly calculated to not be a thing, I think.
Yeah, and they're all in the Disney family. He's
you've got Marvel, you've got Star Wars, there's crossover, it's something's happening, and I'm here for all of it. So,
wait, Simu was in the 10 Rings, right? That was him, right? Okay.
Yeah. Shang-Chi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just hope he's not playing Finn. I hope that's not what they're hinting.
We've recast and we've gone in specific direction.
In an effort to appease the Chinese government, we have cast an Asian man as Finn.
Yep, it becomes a whole other thing altogether.
But that's John Boyega. Like, I'm fine with it. Just
John's like, you know what? I've got other things going on. Yeah.
Oh man, let's get that room going.